The March on Milwaukee shows Wisconsin's main contribution to the national civil rights movement. It was a powerful movement that consisted of long-term, nightly protests by many dedicated individuals. The main protest group was called the Milwaukee National Youth Council. James Gropey, a Roman Catholic priest, was a leader of this activist group. He participated in many marches and sparked the idea to picket at the Eagles Club. This is a portion of the movement that I personally was not familiar with, so it was interesting to learn about our local history. In early 1966, the all-white Eagles Social Club was protested by the Milwaukee National Youth Council. The council was against the racial segregation of the club and the fact that many of the local judges were members of the club. Protesters believed that the judges that belonged to this club were unfitted for neutrality in cases and demanded that they resign from their posts or resign from the club, as stated on the March on Milwaukee Archives webpage. Between February and April, picketers protested nightly, but their efforts got hardly any attention from media or press. The Eagles Club was a grand building in its day, being dubbed Divine's $1 Million Ballroom. There was a fraternal order to the club that consisted mostly of white people, and not a lot of diversity was found within their members. Today, the Eagles Ballroom is a popular attraction for Milwaukee's youth as a place to hear live music and popular music. The diversity of this venue has increased drastically since its opening. There are musicians and audience members with all different types of racial and ethnic backgrounds. Having been there, I never would have assumed it would have been so segregated in its history. This shows how much of an impact the March on Milwaukee movement had on segregation issues in Milwaukee and the civil rights movement as a whole. The community surrounding the music venue is on the lower income side and is not in the best part of town, but is still in a central downtown location. Given the fact that it used to be a high-end social club, I assume that the area around the club would have been of a higher income nature to match those type of people. This change in community could have been partially caused by the venue's change in nature. Although I doubt it played a major role in changing the structure of the community, it shows how types of businesses and the consumers that utilize those businesses make up the culture of a community. Although it is very cliche to say, music really can bring people together, and the history of the Eagles Ballroom proves that. So much has changed since the early protests back in 1966, but although we have made progression, there is still a long road ahead to equality.